Did you just mouth ho ho ho? Well, ain't you funny? But ho ho ho, we are back with the continuation of Case 4. We got a smile out of Case face because we believe in her, and we had to fend off um, Eustace and his dad. Well, we didn't have to fend him off. We had to fend off Eustace and Verity, Gavel. Yeah. Um, Now we found out that there's a storage room underneath the building. Well, above the 50th floor and beneath the roof. So now we're gonna investigate that. Like good little troops.
Alright.
Oh yeah, and Emma came back.
Yes, and this is all the things from our previous cases.
Yeah, like in the bag. That was the second case of the first game. And then there's the mask that's missing that we think we have. So that's the first thing I'm going to investigate. It's kind of funny though to see Emma because Emma used to be our sidekick
Our
and
tag along 14-year-old?
yeah, for like that one case in the first game, which was a great case. And she is. All we need is like Maya to show up and Trucy.
Pearl.
Yep, all the girls. Athena. We need to take a careful look over all these items. All right, Mr. Edgeworth, you promised me an explanation or three. I did indeed. Where to start? Wow, a lot's been happening, huh? What a case. It's not supposed to fill you with excitement, Emma. Heh. Seems you've gotten yourself into a real pickle, Mr. Prosecutor Attorney. I'm not an attorney or a prosecutor anymore. Well, whatever you are, I think it's time for science to lend a helping hand. Don't worry, I brought my entire kit with me. Well, if you're sure. Are you kidding? I live for moments like this. Here, let's make this all official. Good working with you again, Mr. Edgeworth. And you, Miss Sky. And then there are four. Alright, everyone, let's get to work. I want to know where that elevator goes. Looks like it goes down. It's something we'll certainly want to investigate further, but we should look around up here first. Aye, aye, Captain. Let me know if you find anything juicy. I'll keep trying to see what I can remember. I'll let you know if anything comes to mind. Thank you, Kay. Emma? Ready, willing, and able to investigate, Mr. Edgeworth. Very well, then let's begin. See, that's the energy I missed from Kay. And I'm sure we'll get back, but it just makes me sad. It's kind of creepy, all these masks lined up here in the dark. Not a fan of horror movies, I take it. No way. That stuff's so anti-scientific. I think you mispronounced terrifying. Alright.
Eureka!
Kay was carrying a Jammin' Ninja mask when she was found, but it looks like it might have originally come from this hook. Scientifically speaking, that doesn't seem like a crazy hypothesis. Which would mean that Kay was really here?
Maybe somebody was wearing it when they pushed her and she grabbed
True. But we do know she was down here too, so I think either one works. Either one seems plausible. Did she come to steal something, maybe? There's all sorts of stuff here. So, because she's a great thief who steals the truth, I suppose. Now, I think it's too early to jump to any conclusions. There's the Steel Samurai and the Nickel Samurai. The Nickel Samurai always seems kind of pleased with himself to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just about being skinny and cool, you know? There's more to it than that. I'm Team Steel all the way. Hey, you've just gone up in my estimation, Emma. There's a selection of masks arranged on the rack here. There's even a Steel Samurai. And what an impressively authentic likeness it is, too. I like how he's a closet fan. The scientist in me is sensing something strange, though, a lack of consistency, you know? In the sense that the characters represented here feel a little haphazard somehow, I don't disagree. There's even an empty space here. Yeah, just an empty hook right in the middle. These are all case files from various murders. What? But why would they be here? They should be safely under lock and key at the courthouse or the prosecutor's office, which would suggest that somebody removed them without permission. Something very suspicious is going on here. We need to find out more. Well, I could go through the... I'll come back if we need to actually look individually at the masks.
Well, the other ones don't really... Or not in cases that we worked except the ones in the bottles.
Right. Also, money. House bank bitch just left out a little... No way. These are all $100 bills. That's a fortune right there. How many years would it take for you to make that much money, Mr. Edgeworth? Please, Emma, I don't even want to think about it. What is that giant head thing? It's the head of the great Mrs. Monkey. I remember the case very well. But how did they even get it up here? Oh, Mrs. Monkey? That doesn't sound right. Are you sure you didn't get the name wrong, Mr. Edgeworth, or misremembered it somehow? Don't be ridiculous, as if I'd ever make that such a mistake. Alright. A bunch of trophies and... Oh, look! Somebody left a walkie-talkie right here. Looks to me like it was put there deliberately, rather like it's on display, to be honest. Hey, there are batteries in here, too. It could be useful. Let's take it with us. Nobody will mind if we use it for a little while, will they? I could take it to the police station afterward. Someone's starting to sound like a certain great thief. Scientifically speaking, I'd say this looks like some kind of wooden icebox. Yeah, the chains are probably to stop the cold air from escaping. I don't mean to contradict you, Em, but isn't this just a box for storing clothes in? The wood is imbued with a natural repellent that keeps moths away. Oh, yeah, sure. I guess you could look at it that way, too. And keeping your clothes chilled would be nice for the summer, right? Still not prepared to let go of that particular part of your hypothesis, I see. These are... What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? Ooh, I see a safe. If I'm not mistaken, several of the items on display here are pieces of evidence from old cases of mine. What are they doing here? Maybe this is where the committee stores stuff it's looking into?
It looks like it's for sale.
Yeah. They don't keep stuff at the prosecutor's office, too? When a case is ongoing, yes, but once the last trial is finished up, it's supposed to go right back to the precinct. Unless there's a very good reason for it to go elsewhere. Yet here it all is. There's no point in trying to figure out all the whys right now. Let's just take a closer look. They all have labels. Labels with numbers printed on them. Exhibit numbers, maybe. You said they were all pieces of evidence, right? Yes, but judging by how the numbers are written and by the items themselves, I guess these are prices. I wonder if that has to do with all the banknotes we saw. Wait, but none of this stuff could be worth that much money, could it? The prices are very high indeed. It's no wonder she's surprised. I must examine all of these in detail. A bottle of ink and a lantern. Both pieces of evidence from a previous case of mine. But why? What's all this stuff that's related to you doing here? It's not as if any of it was in my possession for any length of time. The duration of the case and no longer. Perhaps this is all nothing but a coincidence. Seriously, a coincidence? I never thought I'd hear those words coming out of your mouth. You must always face up to the facts of a situation, however strange they may be. Isn't that what scientists believe too? Oh ho ho! Mm-hmm. You want to talk about what scientists believe? Settle in, this may take a while. It's a small bottle, one I've seen before. Oh, that's all? Nothing else to add? Well, no. What more did you want me to say? Hold up. I've got to write this down. Mr. Edgeworth can turn even the most boring topics into something picturesque with his explanations. Next time, try taking those kind of notes in silence. That's odd. This is the only spot with nothing on it. But it still has one of those signs in front of it. Indeed, and look, there's an outline in the dust on top of the cloth. I'd say something was probably sitting there until quite recently, wouldn't you? You know what? I think you might be right, but, I'm drawing a blank trying to imagine what? Well, I might have an idea. A star-shaped outline. Don't we have a piece of evidence that might well be connected? Yes.
She got murdered as a case of obvious sorry from an old case.
Really? Huh. There's a very strong chance this is where a murderer took it from. Which would mean the candelabrum was evidence from another case. It certainly seems likely, but it's not our concern right now. The key thing to note is that the murder weapon was taken from the storeroom. Anakin, huh? Wait, I know. Thanks to my powers of scientific deduction, of course. It's evidence from an old case of yours, right? Not this time. I've never seen it before in my life. It doesn't seem to fit with the other items in the room either. For one thing, it doesn't have a price tag. So why is it here? Let me see... There we go. We've seen items of old evidence marked with price tags, along with a huge pile of cash. I think it's pretty clear that somebody has been running an illicit trade in judicial goods. Shady deals on a hidden 51st floor. This is big. It has to be, right? I think it might be, but we'll need to investigate a little further yet. We need to find out more about what's going on here. If only there was an eyewitness we could interview. Eyewitness, huh? Oh, isn't he a cutie? Look at this fluffy little guy. That's the stuffed animal we found at Gourd Lake. He should be in the possession of the prosecutor in charge of that case. So how did he wind up here? Ah, but look, he's missing his left horn. He is, but he never had it in the first place. At least not as far as we ever saw. Defective merchandise, huh? Then we need to contact the manufacturer. I demand a recall. Now that I come to think of it, why would anyone give the president a broken toy to begin with? Huh. So this storeroom is actually more of a stockroom. It would seem so, much as it pains me to consider such a thing. What kind of person sells off evidence from serious criminal cases? And who, too? Who would even pay for all this stuff? Somebody, clearly. The price tags are proof of that. Wow, people really will collect anything, huh? Fascinating. That's a cute little doll. It kind of looks like the Steel Samurai.
It's a baby, isn't it? Yeah.
The infant son of the Steel Samurai. I think that was from the last case of the first game. I can't imagine the pressure that must have put him under, more than most people can bear. Yes, he's young, but you can sense it nonetheless. A certain tragic refinement. Edgeworth! Mr. Edgeworth, are you even listening to me? Oh, of course. Okay, I think I got everything here. This statue. What is it? Got some new data for me? Not exactly. It's just something from a case I worked on, a piece of evidence. I believe it's called the Alfred statue. And there were two of them, a real one and a fake. Whichever one this is, it shouldn't be here of all places. An old case, huh? Guess you have worked on a bunch of different... Gotcha!
When did she come out of that box?
I guess. Caught in the act, red dang-handed, guiltier than a tomcat covered in cream. Ah! Ugh, my eyes. Stop that at once. Ain't no stopping my snapping, not till I got every dang detail and then some. Y'all think I'm about to let a bunch of dirty criminals go before I get the shot? Think again. We're not criminals. Yeah, sure. Pull the other one. It's got bells on. This here camera's a weapon of justice. And about to be hornswoggled by your cheap denials. Oh, it's you. Huh? You're that low-down dirty jerk of a prosecutor, ain't you? Who you calling a low-down dirty jerk? Hey, it's missing an L. This is Lotta Hart. A photojournalist by trade, we've crossed paths on a few occasions, especially on that one particular case. She's hard to forget, and even harder to get a word in edgewise with. Quit making that face, will ya? That's the face of a no-good schemer if I ever saw one. Seems I didn't leave the best of impressions on her either. Well, it's payback time, Mr. Schemer. You ought to be thankful all I want from you is a couple of pictures. But we're just here to investigate. Sure you are. If by investigate you mean pull the wool over Lotta's mile-wide eyes. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, I thought you might listen to me. It didn't hurt to try, I guess, but we're probably better off leaving her alone for now.
We should be asking what she's doing down here. And why she's here.
Yeah, I don't understand why she's here either. She's just sitting around. It's pretty weird looking, I have to say. It's known as the Alfred statue. The what? The Alfred statue. But it says here it's called the Aleph Red statue. Aleph Red. Alfred, Aleph Red. What are you muttering about? Oh, nothing. Let's carry on, shall we? Why exactly are you here, Miss Hart? There we go. Me? I told you, I'm in it for the truth, for the good of society, and for little old me, of course. I'm a photographer for the people. For the people? If you won't tell me the real reason you're here, perhaps I can hazard a guess. Somebody was carrying out an illicit police evidence trafficking scheme here in the storeroom. Ooh, so she's after a juicy... Well, how did y'all figure that out? Guess it means I don't have to tippy-toe around it anymore now. One of my sources told me the down low about an underground auction. What? So all the items here were sold to the highest bidder? Folks was slinging money around like it was going out of fashion. Had to come see for myself, of course. Get eyes on my subject, you know? Should have heard the tales my contact was telling. Taller than 2 trees, or so I thought at first. Anyhow, wasn't about to write it up based on hearsay alone. So yesterday I snuck in, slunk behind this here statue, and settled in to wait. Bidding started late at night and carried right on through to the break of dawn. So the auction and the murder happened on the same night. Coincidence? Dirty deals at a secret storeroom. Talk about a story. Was there anything else on sale apart from the items of evidence in this room? Sure, there was regular old stuff too, shady artworks, who knows where, that kind of thing. In what ways are shady artworks regular, exactly? But the evidence was the big draw, sure. Reckoned they were selling them faster than the crooks could smuggle them out of the cop and prosecutor shops. And I'll bet you got pictures of the whole thing, right, Miss Hart? Well, you see, the main event was down below. I had to try and see what I could from top here. Having been up here since yesterday, I assume you witnessed the entire auction from start to finish, then. It was an underground affair, like I said, so folks wasn't exactly giving much away. All of them customers came down one at a time from up on the roof there. Threw on masks just as soon as they got down the ladder, and that ain't all. They had voice-changing doodads on them, see? Teeny tiny ones, dinkier than a bug's behind. It's so you couldn't see their real faces, and you couldn't hear the real voices. Surreptitious as all heck. You mean surreptitious, right? I surely do. Sweet, sweet surreptitude. Also not a word. Anywho, once they had their gear on, they went right on downstairs. And then in came the next one. When it came time to leave, they all done the same, but in reverse. Up they came again, one by one. Masks back on the hook, up the ladder and away. Interesting. Okay. So one of them, I guess, had that Jammin' Ninja mask. And how many participants were there? 11 altogether. I counted them when they came down the ladder. Well, it looks like she did some good work, actually. I don't know. I mean, it could just be a source she had, considering, or it could be like a very relevant source that we'll find out about. I'm not sure. I didn't just hide behind a stupid statue the whole time, you know. You didn't, then where were you? Well, when I first got here, you know what? That ain't important right now. Oh? So you were hiding behind the statue from the very beginning. Anywho, I watched all them folks come in from a spying spot there in the shadows. I see, so you were watching from behind the statue. They used that there elevator to get down below. And once they was all down there, I snuck up and took a peek at what was going on. You mean the elevator remained in the room beneath? Nah, they sent it back up, but there's a little peeky hole if you know where to look. Elevator don't quite sit flush with the floor, see? And if you bend down and squint just right, you can see the whole shebang. Did you catch sight of who was in charge? Ah, guy. Alright, sure, I guess I did. Ain't half as so good a story if you don't get a glimpse of the evil ringleader after all. I wonder who this ringleader is. I'll have to ask her some more. You mentioned a ringleader. Can you tell me any more about them? Y'all should know I came here to get me an exclusive. And exclusive ain't much dang good if you done spilled the beans already. I see, so you don't actually know anything about them. You think that's why she won't give us an answer? Makes sense, I guess. You got me. Couldn't see if it was a man or a woman, a kid or an old time or nothing. What were they wearing? Could you see that at least? Sure, white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower on the lapel.
That's the attorney that got killed. She had one.
Oh!
Well,
That's right, because you're like, oh, what's with the lab coat or something like that, right?
She got like a writing outfit. Like
Right.
writing course.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Because the only thing I got from that was, oh, it can't be the guy who pushed K, but of course you have a better...
It's either Kay or Rosie. Because this sounds like it's described as what Rosie was wearing. Although, was it Kay found with the magenta flower too?
Yeah, but my guess is that that was on her, but not because she was part of it, but more that she was...
Well, the dead girl sounds like she was wearing this.
Yeah. Well, what good's a description of the outfit if I don't got a clue who was wearing it? So this ringleader disguised their identity too, just like everybody else. Yes, sirree, mask, voice changer, the whole 9 yards. They were wearing one of the masks. Which one? Let me see. Oh yeah, this guy, Zervin. Zervin? What kind of name is that? Seriously, Mr. Edgeworth? You've never heard of Zervin? He's global hero Boyna Capone's arch nemesis. What? Who hasn't heard of Zervin the Time Lord? I think you might be better off asking who has. So you didn't get a glimpse of their face at all? No, I damn well didn't, which kind of scotches my scoop. This whole mess has been nothing but a snipe hunt. I should have never come. No, you should have. She's giving us a lot of great info.
She gave us a lot. We just suspected people were buying it. She definitely...
Yeah. She did a really good job.
I showed her a picture of the girl.
Yeah, and a picture of the flower. Yeah. We know somebody who was dressed like that. Maybe I should try throwing that evidence. Look at that. Okay.
You can show the flower first, I guess.
Yeah. No offense at all, but trying to reel me in here. Y'all better have some... Okay, so... You said that the ringleader was wearing a white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower, correct? Sure did. Don't ask me why they dressed up like a peacock on parade day, but they was. Is this the outfit you saw? Well, holy smokes, it sure as heck is. But wait, so the big cheese is dead? All we know is that she is the victim in the case we're investigating. Her name was Rosie Ringer. Do you know her? Nope. Ringleader was a lady. Well, ain't that just slipperier and a dang eel, throwing me off with a man's jacket like that? I hardly think she did it to fool you specifically. But setting that aside for now, what's important is that we've discovered something vital to the case. Namely that the underground auction was chaired by none other than our victim. So somebody done bumped off the boss, huh?
Yeah, and she's dirty because she's a prosecutor.
Yeah.
Like, Verity.
Yeah.
She's like Verity's, I don't want to say friend or protege, but they work together.
Yeah, wasn't she part of, like, the ringleader was part of the committee, wasn't she?
Yes, I think she's a piece of poo because she was trying to do this. Unless somebody was dressed like her.
Yeah.
I think she's dirty. She's a dirty boy.
I think so too, because she was wearing the flower. I mean, the thing was off. Nothing at all. Y'all go about your business. Yeah, so this is interesting. So somebody done bumped off the boss, then that's what was happening.
She witnessed the
Are we gonna have to play chess with her? No offense, Miss Hart, but that made you sound about 5 times more suspicious. Suspicious my foot? I told you all it's nothing, and you won't get nothing more out of me than that. Wait, so there is more. How many dang times do I gotta tell you? It ain't nothing, okay? Oh, you can't just tell us a little more, pretty please? I'll tell you this, okay? I'm a journalist, a news hound, a scoop hunter, you hear? Exclusive articles go out, money comes in. That's how the game's played. Tell you more? Heck, I done told you all too much already. Wait, what if I examine some fingerprints for you? Pro bono. What kind of cockamamie thank you is that? I'd sooner get a tooth pulled. You want intel? You go dig it up yourself, just like I had to. Okay, guess she isn't going to talk to either of us. Oh, she will. I'll handle things from here, Emma. There's a certain technique I find useful when dealing with difficult customers such as her. She may not give up the information voluntarily, but that doesn't mean she can't be persuaded to. Let's start by observing our opponent. I ain't telling y'all nothing, you hear, and I quit wasting my time before I really blow a fuse. As we've seen, she's very quick-tempered. She'll try to cut the conversation dead whenever possible. I won't have much time to think, so I need to be swift and decisive. Miss Hart is definitely hiding something from me, so my first move is to discover what that something is. I can see you're a little I am calm, dang. You least ways I'll be soon, just... You realize you have nowhere to turn, don't you? Oh, quit riding me, will ya? This whole thing's a waste of my precious time. Oh dear. I need you to tell me everything you know, and don't you dare leave anything out. Go jump in a creek, you big bully. Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me, nor me with you neither. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. Oh, I need to bide my time. So stupid. Alright, let's try this again. I don't know why I didn't try to bide my time the first time. That's better. Being a news hound's all about keeping a cool head no matter what the world throws at you, see? Speaking of news hounds, this might interest you. I met one a few days ago. She was a very hungry young reporter indeed. A reporter with a very particular turn of phrase, similar to your own, in fact. Oh yeah, she spoke like me, huh? Guess that could have been someone I know. Her name is Tabby Lloyd. And if I had closed my eyes, I could have believed I was listening to you. Why am I talking Southern when I'm talking with Edgeworth? She told me about somebody she called me Chief. She was talking about you, wasn't she? Oh, so y'all met Tabby, huh? Well, ain't that something? Where did y'all bump into her? She's a great kid, reckon. Wait, oh no you don't. You ain't getting on my good side bringing her into this, you sneaky snake. Ooh, you nearly had me too. Interesting, talking about Miss Lloyd seemed to make her lower her guard a bit. I think we can use that to our advantage. I don't have anything to do with you. That's a little unkind, don't you think? After all, I know your apprentice. I know her pretty well, in fact. Yeah, well, guess it does seem kind of cold to me to say that if you know her pretty good. Wouldn't want the poor kid thinking I don't give a rat's behind. Good, then you'll tell us what you know? Fine, see, it's like this. Got me a... Wait a sec, what am I thinking? Dang it, Lonnie, you can't let him bamboozle you that easy. What was that about a scoop? Oh, forget it, there was nothing. How embarrassing, a professional journalist making a careless slip of the tongue. You have a scoop, don't you? Now tell me what it is. Heck. Alright, I got me a scoop. Big one. But I can't just go blabbing about it to y'all. I got bills to pay. She may be hiding something very important. I have to get it out of her somehow. We need to know the details of the scoop. She won't believe us if we just say we're not going to tell anybody about it. Your big scoop involves something criminal in nature, doesn't it? Meh, might be it did, might be it didn't. Which is it? This is important. Alright, you don't gotta holler at me like that. I ain't done nothing shameful or nothing, just snuck in and did some undercover reporting. Silent treatment, huh? Well, two can play at that game. Perhaps a little more proactivity is called for. I'll be the judge of whether your actions were shameful or not. An unlawful entry into private property is very shameful indeed. In fact, it's a crime. Hey, you did the exact same thing, genius. But I guess you're a prosecutor, huh? You're allowed to do stuff like that. Let's not mention the fact that I handed in my badge, shall we? Still, it don't amount to a whole hill of beans, right? There's folks out there that could have done way worse. Murder, for one. Next to murder, trespass ain't hardly nothing. Your mutterings about murder just now, I gather that your scoop has something to do with a homicide. Nah, I was just talking all hypothetical, like. You know, about murder being the big one and all. Ain't nothing worse than murder. Not the most skillful evasion I've heard in my career. Look, I done told you, okay? I snuck into the auction, I'll cop to that. But murder? I don't know nothing about no murder. Ain't seen nothing, ain't heard nothing. Scout's honor. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. The scoop of yours, does it have something to do with the auction? You know what? I clean forget, huh? But you tried to infiltrate an underground auction. It only stands to reason that you observed something. Otherwise, what would you have to write about? I don't know what to tell you. I didn't hear nothing. You didn't hear the sound of nothing. Does that mean you did hear the sound of something? Something during your time in this room? Well, see, it wasn't nothing, really. Just a little noise is all. Wouldn't even make page 16. Forget I mentioned it. Something happened during the auction. Something that... Oh, darn it. I just ran out of time. But I know exactly what to do to get through. Alright, so she heard something. Valuable clue. You're sneaking in is a problem. Scoops about a murder. She says it's hypothetical. You told me you heard something during the auction. You claimed it wasn't important, but it must have been, otherwise why remember it? I think it was something very memorable indeed. In fact, I believe it was the cry of a murder victim.